Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'll call this meeting to order. Mike Kenyon. I'm the vice chair taking Jared Sanchez's place as he's unable to be here. The first thing is roll call.
Bates? Gums?
Gums, I'm online, but I did not request remote attendance, and it's totally my error.
Thank you. Leonard?
You just walked out of the room, so.
Molina?
Molina present remotely.
Strathman?
Strathman present remotely.
Sanchez?
He's gonna be remote too.
Surges? Tepe?
Tepe here.
Kenyon?
Here.
Thank you.
First, what? What do we have? Well, Leonard just walked out of the room, so.
Comes back.
He's not coming. You want this, how long do you want this to go? Tepe, is Tepe? Bates, Kenyon.
Where's Kenyon? He's here.
So we have to wait till Leonard comes back into the room.
You still don't have. You'll still only have.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, you need two more members.
Including Leonard, in person.
Kenyon.
Yes, two more in person.
Oh,
You can,
So if we can't do anything, this is good.
this is really,
Yeah.
okay. Who do we go drag in here? Where's Sanchez?
you have left the north part of.
He said he's at a seminar.
Gums, can you be here?
Oh, but that's different.
Where's Surges? Oh,
The editor went up north.
Burgess had a
emergency.
business.
South side of.
It's Stratman.
Mr.
Gums.
Chair,
Sure.
Mr. Chair, can we ask the state's attorney is there some way we could move these items to to where the executive committee could add them and they could be discussed there? Is that appropriate?
I would suggest.
Put the thing up to your mouth.
I think a better plan would be if you would, you can continue a meeting with less than a quorum. I would suggest that we simply have a special meeting of the committee before the executive committee meeting.
Like the day of?
Yeah, day of. I mean, are any of these likely to be controversial? If it's just a matter of getting them, I would suggest, or you could have it, before, but
We could meet Sunday.
well, no,
Mr.
you
Chair,
can't
Gums,
actually meet Sunday.
So we could continue the meeting to 8:45 a.m. on Wednesday, September 4th.
Be all right.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, Gums.
I'd be in favor of that.
On which day?
Ms. Gums is.
Ms. Gums?
Wednesday.
Thank you. I just wanted to let you know I can be there, but it's going to be about 35 minutes. But I don't think that just me being there is enough for a quorum. Is that accurate?
That would be,
If
you would
Mr.
make a
Renner
quorum.
returns.
Well, Mr. Leonard's computer is here and his
Yeah, I know.
phone
I assume he's returning, but
Never leave without his phone.
and his ID.
He's in a meeting right
Ju-
now.
Just let me know, because this is all my
We would not
mistake.
get
This is
done
my
with this
mistake.
in
There's
35 minutes anyway.
What? What,
Yeah.
Mr.
We would take more than 35 minutes to do this agenda.
Yes.
So if you want to have her come, then we could get it all over with now.
I mean, that's up to the committee. Yeah. If you want to, right.
I'm
Yeah, I mean,
gonna
she
head there.
needs to arrive in order to have a legal meeting and
Why
vote.
don't you try to
We can
arrive,
discuss.
Ms. Gums?
I'm trying to arrive.
Get a
Okay.
police escort.
You know I already have that.
Oh, also you have public comment, so
What?
you've got
Public
public
comment.
comment.
That way, and when she gets here, we'll be legal. All right, so we're asking for a remote attendance for Sanchez, Molina.
You can't do that till you have a
Okay,
quorum.
okay, we can't. Thank God. What will we do without lawyers?
would be
We'd
sunk.
move on.
We'd have a lot more fun.
We get a lot
Go
more
kill All
done.
the lawyers.
Yeah, put all the lawyers. So let's just go, can we do public comment?
Yes.
Okay,
We couldn't live without our
Lori
lawyers.
Baker? Would you like to comment? Lori Baker? Yes.
The non-quorum is what you're saying? Yeah,
We want to get it done or just? yeah,
well, I want everybody to hear me, right? That
That's
is
what
a
I'm looking
decision maker, but
Yeah.
I'm good to go. We'll do
Actually,
whatever.
You
So, yeah.
actually have a quorum in the room plus online.
I'm listening.
I'm just teasing you all. It's fine. I'm Lori Baker. I'm the president and CEO of the Association for Individual Development. And I believe the other person you have on public comment is also Alyssa Marrero, who is up here with me from AID as well. We are coming in front. We talk about the mental health need that there is in Kane County post-pandemic. We have seen during the pandemic and after the pandemic, there's been a continued increase in the need for behavioral health services in Kane County. We're seeing a lot of isolation, anxiety, depression, et cetera, right? That is being manifested by every age group from very, very young children that we're getting reports of and responding to mental health crises, as well as that we are, thanks Vern, as well as all the way to people that are chronologically superior and everything in between, right? Because we were in a mental health crisis before the pandemic, and that just exacerbated all of the issues that people were trained to deal with. We have been blessed at AID and to be able to bring to Kane County quite a bit of new services, one of which Alyssa works in our crisis care department, and she is the manager of our mobile crisis response team. So I'm going to let her talk a little bit about what they have been seeing ever since we started, but we also have street outreach and a 24-hour crisis line and a variety of other crisis-related services that have kind of grown up over the past 4 or 5 years that have been mostly paid for by the state of Illinois, either through Medicaid or Medicare, as well as from some grants from the state, but unfortunately, the state doesn't pay the full cost of what it takes to deliver the service. So to have a 24-hour program, you have to have staff that are available 24 hours a day to respond to those mental health crises, to answer the crisis line, to go out into the community, to respond to 988 and to the crisis line of the Fox River Valley, which we run 24 hours a day. And that takes money. And unfortunately, part of the state's budget towards these programs only pays for a portion of people's salary. And so that leaves a big hole. The last fiscal year 24 that just ended, we lost about $593,000 in costs associated with doing all those crisis care services, kind of 24-hour response kind of things that there are. So we're just coming to ask for consideration in any ARPA funding that might be left in the couch cushions and in the coin purse, right? That would help us be able to continue to be able to meet the needs of the vulnerable citizens of Kane County. So we are asking for you to consider us for some ARPA funding. We would be happy with anything we could get, but obviously $500,000 would be very beneficial with a $593,000 budget hole, right? So we're asking if we could be on the next ARPA committee meeting agenda for consideration for some funds. And I'm going to kick over to Alyssa so she can just give you some more specifics.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa, as Lori said. I've been with AID since 2021, and I came over to help get their mobile crisis response team started. In 2022, our 24-hour mobile crisis response team officially went live in August. So this is like our 2-year anniversary this month. And when that started, it was kind of in anticipation for the 988 Lifeline, with the goal to redirect mental health crises from emergency 911 services to mental health professionals. In the 2 years we've been providing services to Kane County, we've provided we've received 474 requests for mobile crisis response teams. And those referrals have come from neighbors, they've come from other 988 lines, they've come from doctors, practitioners. I've gotten a call from McDonald's for an individual who was in a mental health crisis and needed some support. And we've seen individuals from all age ranges, children, kids especially, schools starting. We've seen when kids were going back to school from COVID transitioning, we got a big increase in calls on our line for young folks who are struggling with getting back into school, who are struggling with their own anxiety and other symptoms that were kind of related to having to get reimmersed back into that system. We work really closely with other community programs, police departments, and things like that to get services to these individuals and make sure our team is safe. And we've been able to, again, support folks who are young, people who've had, we had a really cool response with someone who was experiencing postpartum psychosis. She had just had a baby and we were able to get her the support she needed so she could get healthy and back to being a mom. We've helped veterans who are experiencing anxiety or panic attacks. 4th of July, this is real. We had someone call and he was really struggling and we were able to go to support him. The fireworks were really triggering for him. That's just a few examples of some of the calls we've received. But it's definitely something that we've seen an increased need for. Our team is staffed with crisis counselors and recovery support specialists. So when we respond to someone, we're always sending 2 people out, and one of those people include a recovery support specialist. So that's someone with lived experience with a mental health diagnosis who's in recovery. Those diagnoses can range from substance abuse to anxiety, depression, survivors of domestic violence. I've got folks who, again, went through the hospitalization process and have been able to come out of that and be stable and use their experience to support others. Some of these people have been able to go to responses and say, hey, I've been in this shelter before. I know what it's like to be here, and now I'm stable and I'm well and I have a really good life ahead of me. And if we can get you the support you need and the stabilization you need, you can have that too. Those are, again, just some examples of some of the things we get to engage in. Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Alyssa. So, part of what Alyssa's team is able to do is also to respond to the growing need for support for our friends and neighbors that don't have anywhere to live. Homelessness is growing in Kane County. As you know, it's incredibly expensive to live here, and affordable housing is at a premium. It's difficult to find. We just opened up our waiting list for our 50-unit low-income housing tax credit property in Elgin, right before the 20 interchange on 31 last Wednesday. We have 350 people on that waiting list for 40 units after the initial opening. Most of those came in the first day. So we opened at 10 a.m. last Wednesday, and by 10 till 5 last Wednesday, we had 250 people on that waiting list. So the need is huge for affordable housing, and this exacerbates people's mental health needs. And we're trying to, work with the resources that are available from our federal and state partners, right, to bring resources to the community members of Kane County, and would just appreciate any kind of support that you're able to offer AID. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want questions, or do you want us to?
We can't
Sit
ask
down.
questions.
You can't ask? Okay.
Can ask questions.
I won't answer anything, so.
But we're not supposed to.
No.
We're
Yeah,
not
we're
supposed to
supposed to.
ask questions.
All right.
It's
Thank you.
Robert's rules or something.
All right. If you have questions, you know how to get a hold of me.
Okay, thanks, Lori.
What?
Yeah. When the speakers are speaking to a specific agenda item, I think if there are questions, it would be appropriate to ask questions.
Okay.
Okay, Austin Dempsey.
Good morning. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to be here today. My name is Austin Dempsey. I'm with the Fox Valley Patriotic Organization, and I'm joined here today by two of our board members, Mr. Dave Brown and Amy Larson. And we're delighted to be here today to have an opportunity to talk to you about the Flag Day Monument that was constructed right in the heart of Kane County in Batavia, Illinois. This national caliber monument celebrates the history of our great nation. During the COVID crisis, our group diligently pushed forward and persevered to deliver to Kane County and all of its residents an open outdoor space that tells the story of our great nation from the small but promising beginnings of 13 colonies to the incredible country that we have here today. We tell the story of our nation through the 28 different official versions of the flag. I hope everybody has had a chance to visit the monument. If not, I would strongly encourage you to do that. It is quite an incredible attraction for Kane County. While COVID was certainly an adversity, and all of us at one point or another faced adversity through the COVID crisis, our monument celebrates the fact that we stand here today on the foundation that previous generations of Americans have built for us. Every generation that has come before us builds a more solid foundation for the future. And our monument speaks to the fact that those generations have risen to the challenges and the adversities that they have faced, and is a beacon of hope and inspiration for future generations to be able to rise up and meet the adversity just as our generation has with the COVID crisis. We're delighted here to have an opportunity to be considered for possible funding. I understand we can't answer any questions, but when we get to the point where we can, we'd be delighted to answer any questions, and thank you today for your consideration.
Thank you. Would anybody else want to speak that didn't have time to sign up? Oh, yeah, you can speak.
Thank you for recognizing me, standing chair of the ARPA committee, Mr. Kenyon, and I appreciate that. You did that with enthusiasm, so thank you. I am Eileen McNamee. I am here speaking on behalf actually of getting some more mental health funding for AID. And I just wanted to remind you guys, just to back up with that St. Joseph's Hospital, where they did have these They had the emergency unit in St. Joseph's Hospital for people experiencing mental health issues. It has now been sold. It's being sold to a for-profit organization, which is going to further limit mental health accessibility to everyone that needs it at any given time. So I would really love to see if you guys could get a resolution or something on the agenda for next month's meeting for Association for Individuals with Disabilities. So thank you so much. And it was, I really appreciate all the work that you guys have done, especially, you know, I've been here a lot, as you all know, and I really appreciate all the work that you guys have done throughout all of this recovery. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm assuming there's nobody else who wants to speak, unless you do.
Not at the moment.
I have a historical
Okay,
fact.
little historical fact. What's that?
The
For
historical
the
fact
almanac.
is last week ago, today was the 66th anniversary of the admission of the state of Hawaii, being the 50th state. And
I was there.
this is the longest period of time that the flag has remained unchanged since it was adopted in 1777.
Thank you.
1958, August 21st. I remember it well because we had a 49 star flag for about 6 months.
Bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to be recognized as being present in the meeting so we have a quorum and we can move forward.
We're short one.
Still short
Ms.
one?
Gums is on her way.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
We have a 9-member committee.
now we'll move to the agenda. The ARPA committee report, do you have that? What? It's online? Okay, then we'll go, let's go to new business. Resolution,
Excuse me, Mr. Chair,
Can't vote.
do we
What?
have a quorum?
No,
Michelle
we're
is
one
on-
short.
Oh, Still one short. Okay.
I would
no, do
say,
you want to be a lawyer too? God,
Oh, I wanted to count.
you want to count? Okay.
1, 2, 3. I only got up to 4.
Mr. Tepe, you count double.
Thank you.
I'm
A
driving. as
resolution
fast as I
authorizing the,
suggest.
now what?
I would suggest at this point, if Ms. Gums is on her way,
We don't do anything?
that
We have a
you,
brief recess?
you have a, yes, you have a
Okay.
musical interlude or.
We're gonna have a recess waiting for the quorum person.
Bring my
I am.
ukulele.
On my way.
Oh, okay. Could she come in?
Yeah, she'll be here in a few
Yeah.
minutes.
She left.
Had you
I'm
been,
on 25. That's all I can tell you. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Mr. State's Attorney,
yes?
could we please proceed and then just do the roll calls when Ms. Gums get here? We can do the discussion, we can do the motions, we can go,
I don't think
we can,
motion.
You mean you have something to do? Or you don't want to sit here all day?
I got places to go, I got plans, and I got places to go and things, I've got a daughter
I want to
here.
do it the right way, Mr.
Yeah,
Shepherd.
I've got a daughter who arrived from New York last night at 1 AM.
she's
How
still sleeping.
close are you?
Ms. Gums, can you hear us?
I can absolutely hear you, and I know we can't do any motions, but I'm glad to go through the agenda
You have
with the
an,
talking points.
you have an amended arrival time projected?
20 minutes?
Oh,
I can't, I'm at the southern
I
end of the
think-
county, guys.
Please
I
can we
don't know
go
what to
through
tell
the
ya.
discussion and just that, do the roll calls on each item?
Yeah, I would, yes, I would suggest that you take them in order and that you can discuss them, but we will probably, I would ask you to remake the motion once a quorum is
Okay.
actually present.
Thank you. I think that'll help.
I think Sanchez
wanna
knew
go
what
over
was
our
gonna
report?
happen. And that's why he's gone.
Listen,
All right, is that clear or is that?
She probably
clear as
knows
mud?
everything
Yeah.
already.
Okay, so I would just call, item A for discussion.
Item A for discussion. Authorizing the use and transfer of state and local fiscal recovery funds from Revenue Loss Recoupment Fund 356 to Fund 001 and Fund 001 to Fund 500 to Fund Judicial Center Water Quality Improvements for the Kane County Building Management Department. Is there any discussion on this? Anything we need to know?
Heidi is here if any of you have any questions.
All right, so we'll read the next one. Mr. That right?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Resolution B, authorizing the use and transfer of state and local fiscal funds, recovery funds from Revenue Loss Recoup Fund 356 to Fund 001 to Fund 420 to fund the countywide wetland resource mapping update for the Kane County Department of Environmental and Water Resources. Do you want to do any discussion or not?
Ms. Wolnick is here if we want any comments or discussion or explanation. Ms. Wolnick, would you come
Dollar
up?
amount, Fanny, please?
Do it.
29,631.
Oh, Ms. Molina wants to speak.
Oh, Ms. Molina, speak.
Thank you, Chairman Kenyon. I just wanted a brief introduction to each of these resolutions so that the public is aware of what each of them entails.
She's asking for a
Summary.
brief
Summary.
summary of what, even though nobody had any questions, what is, other than the dollar amount, what are they about? Was that correct?
Okay.
Yeah, since we have some time, I think it's important
Well,
that we,
I don't
go
know if you
through
have
it.
to read, you have to read it, but perhaps
Well, the Jody could,
staff could explain what it
Staff
is.
Please, Heidi.
staff will explain what we're about.
Okay.
thank you.
Sure. Good morning. I'm Heidi Files with Building Management. The Judicial Center water quality improvements includes industrial size water softeners, water filtration, necessary piping, staff training. The water softeners have failed at the Judicial Center. That's the largest courthouse, one of the largest buildings that the county owns. That's over at the Peck and 38 campus. And so this would provide better water quality through the building. Right now, some of the fixtures are failing because of the hardness of the water. And just to reduce any concerns about water quality, that's what this project's about.
What's the dollar amount?
This one is estimated at 500,000.
What was it
Item
cost?
A.
But on,
That's it.
That was A. Yeah.
ARPA is only approving 129 this time, 129,000 and some.
Mike?
Oh, the cost of the project is 500, Heidi, 500,000.
that's the estimated cost of the project.
ARPA is only funding 129,000. Yes.
Give them 129,000.
Right.
Towards the,
And then we'd use capital funds for whatever ARPA couldn't cover.
Okay, thank you.
okay, Ms. Molina, does that explain this a little better?
I think it's allowing Ms. Gums to drive safely. So yeah, keep going.
Mr. Chairman Strathman here.
I thank you very much because wholesale mulch is not abiding by the speed limit.
Be safe, Michelle.
Okay, let's go to C.
Mr. Chairman,
Did
I
we
have
do
a
that?
question.
Had a question.
Yeah, I
What?
think.
Ms. Strathman had a question, I believe.
Stratman,
Yes, I have a question for
you have a
Heidi.
question?
Yes, please.
Hello,
I was
Michelle.
wondering if these water softeners had been maintained on a regular basis.
Oof, that's a good question. I'm new to building management, about a year and a half,
Here.
but my understanding is that there were some issues in previous decades with building management maintenance. Also, this building is over 20 years old, so I think it's a life expectancy of the equipment in addition to potential maintenance issues in the past. I would like to say that our team is excellent now and that you can expect great maintenance moving forward.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a comment.
Jody?
I'd just like to add,
Strathman.
the softeners that are
Strathman.
in the judicial
once
center,
again.
the parts are no longer available to replace and the softeners to repair them. So the parts aren't available. So the only option is to replace them.
Stratman likes to make a comment. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. I believe that improving our maintenance, building maintenance criteria and agendas is really a great idea moving forward. So I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Mr. Leonard?
Mr. Chairman, I just would like to point out, in a past life, I owned a Culligan water conditioning business. And 20 years is a long time
Oh,
for the equipment to last, so I'm sure it needs to be replaced. And as was mentioned by Jody, the parts probably aren't even available for updating it, so it's a needed.
you don't want to hear of a
also-
personal experience. We had a water softener in a house that was put in 1962. We replaced it last year.
Wow.
And there was like 3 people in that house. It's the water in and the quality of the product. They don't make them to last.
It's true.
Of course, you were driving like an 1897 Mercedes or something too.
All right.
You gotta.
Yeah, we can drive our own M tractors forever. So should we move to B?
Yes.
Okay, this is the wetland resource mapping update.
Thank you. Jody Walnick, Director of Environmental and Water Resources. This project would include updating our maps and our GIS system for the wetland resource mapping we have. The current mapping is over 30 years old and we find it very inaccurate across the county. This is a struggle for our citizens that are looking to do developments or projects on their property because it's inaccurately showing where those wetlands are located. And so this would be a complete overview of the county's wetland mapping to make sure that all those maps are updated in our GIS system that's accessible to our residents online, would accurately reflect the wetlands in the county.
Do you have an estimated cost?
I believe it's 30,000.
Not much. For everything else. Any other questions? I can't.
I have a
believe you-
comment.
Want to make a comment?
In the final ruling for the ARPA plan, water was one of the four main ingredients,
Ingredients?
four main priorities. So
We know.
this is a good one. Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. Resolution C, to fund the Kane County unstudied flood, no, is that what that was? Unstudied floodplain mapping initiative for the department. Is this with the other one?
No, this is a separate project. It's very similar, however. We have, as our development moves west, we have quite a few miles of streams that don't have elevations associated with them on our floodplain maps. This is causing issues for our residents out west in the more rural areas of the county because there's structures mapped in floodplain that shouldn't be. There's also drainage where there is potential for development or improvements to people's land where they don't know what the flow rates are or what the elevations are on their property. So this would be working with a consultant to create updates to those maps that would eventually be approved by FEMA. Our intent right at this point is to just get that best available information. So we're able to provide that as a resource to our residents and provide more accurate mapping of our floodplains in Kane County. And I'm scrolling, the cost is $250,000.
Sorry, questions? All right. How old, how was the previous work? How far back does that go?
It depends on the area you're at. So some of our floodplain mapping goes back to the 80s. But some of it has been updated over the years, especially kind of in the areas that have developed more. They've gone back to FEMA for some of the developments, and then those maps have been updated. So we kind of have some that's from the 80s, from the 90s, from the 2000s as maps get updated through FEMA.
Thank you. We can all relate to the 80s, can't we?
1980s or 1880s?
1980s.
Only Berman knows about the 1880s. This is,
Just an FYI, I'm at Wilson and 31.
who's that?
It's on 31, Michelle's on 31,
We'll get a police escort if we could.
front of the building. We'll let you in.
Hey, you know, we had 3 cops out here this morning. We could have sent them to fetch her. All right, the next one, this is
D. We're on D.
D.
Yes.
Fund the recycling contract service commodities. You want to do something with the recycling center?
That's correct. We did have a presentation of the improvements to the Fabian Recycling Center at both E&E committee and at admin committee this past month. Claire Ryan did a great presentation of the proposed improvements to that site. If you've been out to that site recently, unfortunately, it's quite an eyesore, especially for the residents that are across Fabian. And so what we want to do is make it a much more friendly visit for our residents, bringing recycled materials and get some indoor storage to allow us to do other recyclables that can't be out in the weather. So the improvements would include redoing the asphalt, kind of it just turned into gravel at this point. It's a safety hazard for people dropping off materials. There's quite a bit of holes and other issues with that surface, as well as the issue of driving the fork truck over that. And we would modernize the office. The current trailer that's out there is a rental trailer. It's really poor for heating and cooling. There's no insulation. And so we would be doing a modular office facility out there with 2 offices and a small kitchenette. And then we would be doing a 2-car garage along with those improvements with a shed type roof that would allow for some exterior covered recycling to be completed as well. Our intent would be to hook up to the city water, which was a previous water service that served the old juvenile facility that was out on that property, and then do a small septic area for the bathroom. And then we would also be doing some landscaping out front, again, to kind of hide that we still need to have that trailer out there for the electronics, but that would be kind of screened by some landscaping improvements. The cost is $285,000.
You have a question?
No, I was just gonna say it's 285,000.
285,000.
Mr. Kenyon?
Bates?
This would also allow Ms. Ryan, our facility, our manager for our recycling program, to be out there some of the time. So it would increase our visibility at the recycling center. So it's all good.
Okay. Well, I knew you'd think it was good.
Yeah.
Well, I knew you would too.
Any other questions from off-site committee members? Okay, we'll move to E. Resolution authorize the use of state and local recovery fund, environmental resources fund, a base flood benchmarks for the Kane County Department of, well, you have a lot of requests.
We've been waiting many years for this.
It's a lot of money, though.
We've been waiting for a while. Again, with our residents that are in flood prone areas, there's a constant education process with those residents. This would ensure that we have the education out there. We're going to be doing some signage and some benchmarking, some elevation marking. And so residents kind of moving into the area or utilizing the area are aware of the flood elevations in those areas. And we can get that information out to residents. So when they're seeing flooding occurring or looking at improvements to their property, that they're aware of what those floodplain elevations are. And we'll be working with a consultant and a professional land surveyor to make those improvements happen.
Are there any questions about this? Huh?
How much?
Cost is 50 grand.
50,000.
Just nothing now, you know? So you're asking for a lot of money down there. Okay, we'll move on then. F, authorizing the use of state and local funds for satellite, for the Kane County Satellite Building and HVA system renovations for the County Building Management Department.
That's me.
There, hi.
Hey, this is one-for-one replacement of 29 rooftop units at the new building on Point Boulevard. That building, we have a closing date in October. I think we just have the purchase sale agreement executed. Health Department is sending the earnest money now. So we'd like to be able to replace the the end of life art rooftop units on that building so that we can be ready to go.
150,000, but you're getting 100? 100,948.
The rest will come out of the capital budget, whatever ARPA can't fund.
Any questions? Oh, let's go to the next one.
Yeah,
The next-
Mr. Chairman, this seems very much in line with our other ARPA.
Right.
The HVAC it seems to be a low risk, good
Right,
use of our
because
money.
air filtration and better air quality relates back to COVID, and
Oh,
they're
good.
much, much more efficient than they were 25 years ago when this building was built.
Okay, great.
Mr. Leonard, I see you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to say, I support this because it's a one-time expense. It's not a recurring or operating expense. It's a capital expense. And I support that as I do all the water projects that we're looking at for the same reason.
Thank you.
Okay, then we go to G, which is the HVAC improvement for the Third Street Courthouse and the Kane County Building Management Department.
Right. This is part two of HVAC replacements at the courthouse. It's a massive air handling unit and some split systems.
We're only talking about $100,000
Right.
here.
In $948.
All right. Any other questions? For the remotes? Remotes are okay?
Walking in the door.
Oh, wow. She'll be the most important person in the building. So, let's see, H, for funds for the Adult Children's Justice Center Domestic Hot Water Improvements for the Kane County Building Management Department, increasing, this is about $100,000, but that's not a lot. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Hey.
Thank you. Thank you. Yay.
Well,
Chairman,
yes,
Shepro, State's Attorney, a quorum now being present, a motion would be in order to approve the remote attendance of those requested.
all right.
Make it so.
What?
Chair,
We need,
Mr. Chair, I'd suggest a roll call first.
okay, but we'll have roll call. Which one of you lawyers said that? Their lawyer? We have roll call again.
Bates,
Bates here.
Gums,
Gups is here. And I
Leonard,
would like to,
Leonard here.
Molina,
Molina present.
and
Strathman here.
Sanchez, Surges, Tepe,
Steppy here.
Kenyon.
Here.
Oh,
So we
Mr. Chair
need-
Gums,
Oh.
just really quick, I want to apologize to this committee, the public.
You're worth the wait.
Well, it's my own mistake, so I want to apologize to the public, this committee, and my colleagues.
The most dramatic appearance since Caesar Rodney wrote into.
Again, you were the
Independence Hall.
most important.
Don't judge
person
what
in
you're
the
looking
room.
at.
Think about that. All right, so we need remote attendance approval for Sanchez, Molina.
Sanchez, is there is.
He has not said,
No.
he promised to, but you
All
know,
right.
Yeah,
Without
This-
objection.
no objections?
no objection.
Now we can go back. Do you want to just start down here where we were?
Why don't you start with a motion on the current item and you can pick up the others at the end?
Bates
Current
moves.
item in
G.
back.
Resolution G.
What?
Bates moves.
Strathman seconds.
Okay. There's a motion on resolution G for the HVAC improvement at the Third Street Courthouse. And that's, how much was that? $100,000?
$100,948.
Are there any questions?
Nope.
Are you ready? Okay, we'll do roll call on it.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Steppy, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Leonard?
Mr. Chairman, I would ask that we go back to resolutions A through F and have a motion on each one and vote on those since we've already discussed them.
Ms. Gums?
I would, did we approve the minutes?
No, we didn't.
No, we
We'd like to
cannot.
ask for unanimous consent to approve the minutes from
Another
July
lawyer
24th.
unanimous consent for the approval of minutes.
No objections.
Okay?
No objections.
Now we'll go back to A, which is for the water quality improvements, of the Kane County Building Management Department.
Steppy so moves.
Leonard
Consensus.
seconds.
Is there any discussion on this? We're ready to vote.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Steppy, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now,
Item B.
are we ready? Resolution B was the mapping of the wetland resource mapping for the Environmental Resource Department.
Leonard
moves.
moves.
Steppy seconds.
Discussion on this? We're ready to vote.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Steffi, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Thank you.
It is approved. And C, which is the flood mapping initiative of the water resources.
Gums will move.
250,000.
150,000.
I'll move.
Gums will
Leonard moves.
second.
Leonard moves, Gums seconds. Discussions. We're ready to vote.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Melina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Steffi, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, it's approved, so we go to D, which is recycling contractual services and commodities for the Kane County Department of.
Bates moves.
In
Oh,
Leonard will second in the amount of $285,000.
85,000. Is there a discussion? We're ready to vote.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Melina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Steffi, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent.
All right, now we're at E. This is the Water Resources Department to fund the base flood benchmarking for the rest of the county. Is there a motion?
For
Gums will move.
50,000, I will second it.
Who's seconded?
Gums.
Gums made it, your second.
Gums first, I'm second.
Okay. Ready to vote?
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Melina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Steffi, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like we're Cook County because we just go right over it. stuff. We just go over it. Oh, the other one is resolution F, was to improve the HVAC system for building management, and that was about $100,000.
$100,948.
Okay. And it's made by
I'll move, Leonard will move.
Bates,
Bates
second.
seconds. Is there discussion? Seeing none, we're ready to vote.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Gums,
Gums, no.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Melina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Steffi, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes. Oh, resolution G has to do with the improvements. What?
You did.
Gee, we already did. yeah.
What?
So
We did it twice.
We can go to
Can't
H.
do it twice.
We can't do it twice.
Okay, H,
You could have a motion to reconsider.
motion recon,
We don't want
we'll
to.
do H then. Domestic hot water improvements for the Kane County Building Management Department of $1 million. The adult justice system
An increase of $1 million. An increase of 1 million.
increase.
Yes.
They're made by,
Leonard will move.
Gums will second.
Jones will second. Discussion?
I'd like to have a description of this.
What?
I'd like to have a
Description.
description of this.
Somebody's going to explain what this is
Sure.
Why do we have to explain it?
because it was requested and
Go ahead.
Sure, this is to replace the failed hot water system in the jail. We have storage tanks that are totally out of use and end of life. And we're moving to a closed boiler system. The water quality is difficult with the kind of boilers we have, and they're failing constantly. So this will work better with our water system. It also includes chlorine injection, replacing all the shower head fixtures that have been damaged because of water quality. So there's a real concern in the jail since you are housing inmates if you don't have the appropriate water quality required. So this is a real safety measure, and the system is almost completely failing. So it
But-
definitely needs it.
But the request is for an increased $1 million. So
So-
that's a
So
lot of money.
right, we just got our bids back for this project, and I think we are at right now 1.65 million with engineering and construction management, and I think it was 1.538 for the contractor. But there are some additional items in the jail that we anticipate during discovery that we may need some contingency. And my understanding, if we don't use all the 2 million, let's say we use 1.85, that we could possibly move that to one of the HVAC projects that we know for sure will be underfunded on. So,
All right, thank you.
thank
Any
you.
other questions?
Mm.
Ready to vote?
Yep.
So ready-
Already voted, I thought.
What?
We already voted
On H?
On H. We did it?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I tried to vote on G twice.
Gums. Bates.
Yes. Bates.
Gums.
Gums, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Strathman.
Strathman, yes.
Tepe.
Tepe, yes.
And Kenyon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution I, now I'm on the right one, huh? This is for the Adult Fox Valley Sheltered Workshop Nonprofit Organization in Kane County. What did that amount to?
47,000.
95,000.
$95,000. You want to make?
Yes, I'll move it. And I do have a question after we get
You
the
move
second.
it and who
Tepe will
second?
second.
Yeah, in reading over the resolution, I see 47,500, which would be half of the 95,000.
For this year,
Oh, for this
for
year,
this budget year, and the other half will be in 2025.
26. Oh, in 24. Okay, very good.
Any other questions?
Mm-mm.
Bates?
Bates, yes.
No, I.
Oh.
Roll call. We're-
Bates. Gums.
Gums, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Strathman.
Strathman, yes.
Tepe.
Tepe, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes. J, which is use of Fox Valley Patriotic Organization in Kane County.
Gums will move.
Comes moves,
Leonard will second.
what's this amount to?
300,000.
200,000.
300,000.
Okay, I have to ask
You
a
have a
question here.
question?
Yes, I do. Could I have another explanation? I know we had a public speaker, but I'm thinking we've got AID trying to provide for homeless people and mentally ill people.
AID they're receiving, and I think Kim Peterson is on the call, 2 awards under the Behavioral Initiative Program, amounting to maybe a little over $500,000, but that's
So the plea that they gave us today is being
approving a
met?
resolution that authorizes them to use a little over 500,000, I believe.
So the ask that they had today is already being covered, or is that a new ask?
Under the Behavioral Health Initiative Program.
That's the money that we gave to the Public Health Department.
Tom? You have a question, Mr. Roth?
Their request was for an additional 500,000 is what they did in the public.
Additional.
They're asking for. So I'd like to understand, it's a little hard for me to give money to a monument project as much as we want to honor our veterans when we have homeless people and mentally ill people needing services.
Well taken. Mr. Tepe?
Yeah, I'd like to agree with Mrs. Bates there. We have AID and PADS that are asking for funds, and I don't believe there are any more funds available after today if this is all granted. So,
Mr. Chairman Strathman,
Yes?
yes.
I also agree with my board members, Bates and Tepe. As much as I want to honor this, I think that there is such an immediate need for mental health and homelessness that I will be voting no on this.
Do you want to talk?
Nope.
Oh, what? Good. We're ready to vote then. Okay, now,
Bates.
No.
Gums.
Gums, yes.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Strathman.
No.
Tepe.
Tepe, no.
Yes.
no.
No.
No, I'm sorry. Kenyon.
Yes. So what's the vote?
Mental health.
This is 3 no's.
What?
Yeah, I
4
get it.
yeses and 3 no's.
4 yeses.
So
and
that's
3 noes.
against mental
For three,
health.
It was approved.
you've always been a champion of mental health.
No, that's not against mental health. Gums, I don't take that way. That's an opinion.
What?
Right.
Yeah, that's not over.
All right, never mind.
We're gonna move on now
Okay,
on J. No, we did J.
okay.
We're gonna behavioral health systems and mental health improvement grants. And
Gums will move.
Leonard will second.
who's talking about that? Nobody?
I think Kim Peterson should be on the Zoom or Mike Isaacson.
I'm here, Kim.
Who's that?
This is Kim Peterson, the
I'm the
project
director for
director.
Yeah, I'm
Director.
Director for Community Health at the Health Department and the lead on this project. So you granted us just short of $10 million earlier this year, and part of those funds, a little over 5 million, we made available via competitive notice of funding process for all of our behavioral health providers throughout King County. We did receive over 100 applications that we spent multi-days scoring, and we're able to grant 20 projects, full funding, 19 organizations, 20 projects. 2 of those are AID's projects. So they are getting, like Suzanne said, a little close to 600,000. So basically, this resolution is just to approve all of the awards for each organization in effort to improve our capacity and our entire behavioral health system here in King County.
Questions, Mr. Roth?
For Ms. Peterson, what's the cost for this particular resolution then?
The total cost, and since you already, allocated the money to us, it's part
Right.
of that money. The total cost of all these agreements is $5,393,574.95.
Thank you.
Any questions? We ready to vote? Roll, vote.
Bates,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Deputy, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's approved.
Mhm.
L. Strategic Communications for the Kane County Health Department Behavioral Health System Improvement Initiative.
Gums will move.
Leonard will second.
Kim, are you gonna talk to this?
Sure. Thank you. This is for, again, part of the funds that you allocated to us earlier in the year. And this is an important part of the whole system improvement initiative, as one of the biggest barriers to folks seeking assistance and the services that they need is stigma, and also just lack of awareness of what is around for help and what might signify symptoms of a mental health issue and or addiction. So basically, part of this communications plan is to really inundate the community with their options for treatment or assistance or help in any way that they find valuable, as well as decrease the stigma around folks that are struggling with behavioral health issues and give them that extra push to feel confident to seek treatment. And so this resolution is to authorize the agreement between the King County Health Department and the Jaskula Terman, which is a communications company, to implement this communications campaign over the next 2 years.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
Mr. Roth?
Kim, could we get the cost on that one too, please?
Yes, $200,000.
Thank you.
We're ready to vote?
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Deputy, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Thank you.
L? This can't be.
It is.
No,
What's
way.
wrong?
Move along, sir.
Where it am, yeah. Okay, this is a request for funds for lease of 12 solar powered signs for Kane County Development Community Service Department and ARPA Fabulous Fox Water Trail. You want to tell us about that, Mark?
Sure. So this is one contract, which is a component of the Fabulous Fox Water Trail Infrastructure Project approved by ARPA. Most of those funds are going to the engineering and actual work on new and improved launch sites for accessibility and for encouraging tourism at Fabulous Fox Water Trail. This contract is another component of that overall project, and these signs, if there's one that's been in the right below us for quite some time now, would be leased and located in strategic locations in communities along the Fox River as a way of connecting folks who are using the Fabulous Fox Water Trail with local businesses and restaurants and opportunities, so that they're not just paddling, they're spending some money here as well. But also the other direction for people who are in busy business districts or in a park, that they have a better understanding of what the opportunities are to use the Fabulous Fox Water Trail. We have also leveraged the funding that we're getting from ARPA with a state grant for tourism attraction grant. So the overall project is mostly ARPA money, but $240,000 in state money as well for the overall effort. So, but this morning, this is just approving that contract so that we can move ahead with finalizing locations for the 12 signs in this contract. But I'm happy to answer any questions.
This comes.
Thank you. Just, can you remind me what the cost for the signs is? I mean, what-
Sure.
Yeah.
So the total contract is for $312,000. 12 signs. There's a initial setup cost of $20,000 per sign, and then $3,000 a year for maintenance.
ARPA would be funding 276,000 of the 300.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any questions? Do you want to make a motion?
Yeah.
In order to do it, we move second.
I will move that.
Comes will second.
Comes a second. And we've done discussion. We ready to vote? Hey, we're at the home stretch, boys.
Bates,
No.
sorry,
No.
no. Gums,
Comes no.
Leonard,
Leonard, no.
Melina,
Molina, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Except yes.
Kenyon.
No. What? It did not pass? Oh, and we're ready to wind down? I'm told that this would be the last meeting probably, unless
Well, now we have,
unless we have money come back.
Now.
This comes.
Good point.
Mr. Chair, thanks for recognizing me. I just want to swing back to the monument conversation. Monuments, in my opinion, are essential for our veterans and their families, as well as education for those folks that are not a family member of a veteran. They're cathartic places for people to go and remember their families, and I believe it is directly related to the mental health of our veterans. And I just wanted to say that that's a good thing.
I appreciate your words. They're true. Mr. Leonard,
I move that we adjourn.
second?
Comes.
Oh, second by Comes.